Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We're going to take a quick look here at Gala, see what's going on. Going to update some of our fib levels and just kind of see, generally what's going on here with the overall sentiment. Because again, this coin keeps shifting from bullish to bearish. We have a potential bullish type of pattern here with a bull flag forming. So we're going to see if that's even a possibility or not as well. So if you are new to the channel, stick around, learn a few things. I hope you can learn as much as you possibly can. I've been trading for quite a long time, and I hope that you can learn if you want to become a better trader. Again, cryptocash.tech is a site. Link down below. I actually have a trading academy, community and signals group. Got a lot of new members coming over. Make sure you check it out. Really a lot of fun here. We took some nice profits on AVAX and Bitcoin shorts here in the last 24 hours. Confident we're going to hit some more targets there. But question here is, is it worth shorting Gala? Is it better off taking a long here and buying the dip? Let's see if we can find out. First of all, liquidation levels kind of tell us that we have some lower levels that have been swept. It's nothing crazy, but we did see some lower levels, about 6.5. We still have about 6.2 and as low as 5.5. We've known about 5.1 for a while, but there's more liquidation on the downside than the upside. However, it's further away and spread out. We take a look at 7.5. That's a heavy concentration just above the price action. So the reason why that's important is because 7.5 is just above this more recent fib level. So if you're considering a long position, a profit target just before that fib level would be appropriate. Is generally the best way to go. And then the inverse as well to the downside if you're considering shorting. But let's take a look at the daily time frame, work our way down, and just make sure we're on the right side of the tracks here before we decide to take a trade. First of all, we are above the 20-day SMA, and this is an important thing to recognize. That does help us understand that we're still okay. Right now, we have effectively dropped below this normal trend line, the previous trend line we drew out. So if you want to kind of recognize the big picture here, we're still kind of on the wrong side of the tracks, if that makes sense. But again, the 20-day SMA is a little bit more of an appropriate trend setter there. So what we could do here, actually, why don't we do this just to make it a little bit better? Go ahead and get us a little bit more official here where we catch all these candle wicks here and effectively just look at this ascending trend line here as a bigger picture. Okay? Because again, when you look at the large picture, it's helpful to know kind of where you're at. What I'm getting at here is whether you short or whether you take a long, the overall sentiment is still bullish because we're above the 20-day SMA and we're ascending positively with this trend. Okay, that's the key takeaway here, I'd say. Again, macro perspective is important to recognize leading into a trade because whether you're day trading, swing trading, or whatever, you need to know the overall trend. And right now, the trend is our friend, and that is essentially going up. Right? Most coins are still exuding bullish behavior on the macro, even though we are seeing a pullback here today. Okay? So please don't get it twisted. If we look here as well at RSI is in good shape. We can see the money flow index kind of tapering off, which is not great. But again, we're kind of in that mildly sweet spot. This is the macro. Keep in mind, nothing substantial. But the truth is, we're in a situation right now where it's looking very, very neutral on the larger time frames. But again, the overall trend is up. We kind of got to respect that. We take a look at the 4-hour time frame where you got to bounce off of 50 on the RSI there, tentative support level there. You can usually see that reflect on the charts right there, that 0.382 fib level, so 6.4. Again, that level of liquidation that we saw here that got swept, that was the support level or is the support level because it's very common for support levels to be retested and liquidity to be destroyed at that level. So having said all that, we can see MACD is diverging here, stochastic swinging up. These are all fairly bearish signs. Again, it's not great, don't get me wrong, seeing stochastic swing up, there's potential we could see a pivot here, but once again, money flow index is very low. Keep in mind, money flow index at 30 and RSI at 50, that is a common bouncing point for a lot of coins. I wouldn't be surprised this 0.382 level is the initial bottom. Pending Bitcoin doesn't continue to decrease, we could see Gala recover from here because of those things. But again, we're still diverging on the MACD, so is that a reason to take a trade? No. Again, folks, you got to understand here. A lot of conflicting information here on this chart implies many reasons not to take a trade. So if you're ever unsure about something and you make a decision just reluctantly, are you ever happy with that decision? Generally not. The results are going to not be in your favor either in most cases here. So if you just kind of blindly take a long or short position right now, I think it's not the best call. While we do see here some bearish divergences on the hourly and we are closing below the cloud quite substantially, we can see here that there is bearish divergence. We got lagging spans free and clear to the downside. We're below the cloud. Conversion lines below the baseline. All the more reason to be very careful in a trade you take. However, if you do take a trade, just know two things. First of all, we have a bull flag pattern here that could very well break out to the upside. That's something that you just got to be aware of. We have that nice bounce off 30/50 on the RSI MFI in the 4-hour. All the more reason why long positions could prevail here. Again, pending Bitcoin goes sideways from here, I think Gala will go up. However, we got to recognize too, where we have this point of contention here with the cloud as well as the volume profile about 6.7. So being below that is causing this resistance level to push the price action down lower. Okay. So the easy way to understand it here is that the short term still appears very bearish, and we got to presume it's going to continue until it doesn't. If we break free from this descending trend, then I would say that the bull flag could become validated, and that a short would be not a good consideration. But for right now, we can see on smaller time frames plus the indecision on the 4-hour time frame that a short position would be viable. However, you got to recognize we got this ascending trend line and a lot of support based on volume. I don't think if you short is going to be like a monstrous short. I don't think the price is just going to go down to the 4 or 5 cent range. I think it's more likely we're going to see a bounce somewhere in the 6.2 to 6.4 range. Okay. Again, so that's kind of where we're at there. I know it's tricky and it's weird, and I'm sorry I couldn't give you a definitive answer, but 95% of my analysis is going to be indecisiveness, and that's why you don't take trades. Okay, so try to just think about that. Think of a time that you've made a really good decision based on a whim or lack of information. Right now we have lack of information confirming either direction. However, the short term is more so leaning towards the downside. Long term is leaning more towards the upside. You pick and choose what you want to work best for you. If I'm going to consider a short, though, it's going to be a tight short, and make sure that I take profits and secure profits, adjusting my stop loss to break even after I secure profits. I would recommend something similar. Also recommend low leverage, low position sizing. That's how we survive in our trades here as a community. Phenomenal trade results too. We got some really good traders here. Very good job there, Elook. You're one of our newer members. Taxi, thank you again for the feedback. I'm glad the AVAX trades worked out well for you. Thank you, Red Coke and Boric as well. So again, folks, awesome stuff. This can be fun if you play it right. Just be patient. Try not to FOMO in. If you want something better for yourself, join an amazing trading community. We got a really good group over there. CryptoCash.tech is a site if you want to register. We are accepting crypto payments as well for annual memberships if you're curious about that. Also, join Bitunix, phenomenal exchange. Highly recommended. Get some awesome rewards. Use my link to register. Link down below, but more importantly, no KYC or VPN. Really awesome exchange for those in the US and Canada. I hope you all have a great rest of the day either way. Thank you again so much for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.